Imagine hitting send on that meticulously crafted email to a VC, the one where every word is soaked in your blood, sweat, and dreams, and then silence. No reply, no thank you, no maybe, just a void so loud it drowns every hope you had. That feeling? It's not just rejection, it's a slow, cruel ghosting that buries your fire under a heap of unanswered questions. Why? What went wrong? What's the real reason VCs vanish on passionate founders like shadows at dusk? Here's the truth nobody tells you. It's not about you. It's not about your idea, your pitch deck, or your energy. It's about the world VCs live in, a world built on scarcity, illusion, and a brutal game of power. Venture capital doesn't ghost you because your idea isn't good enough. They ghost you because the system they play by isn't designed to ignite passion or stellar visions. It's designed to manage risk by sticking to certain patterns, norms, and invisible rules nobody teaches you. It's about survival, not transformation. It's about fitting into a fragile mold, not breaking it. VCs operate in a world sewn together by fear, a feverish, almost desperate fear of losing what little control they have. That means they often ghost founders with fire, vision, and radical ideas because those founders don't fit their playbook. Passion is messy. Passion challenges, passion threatens. And in a world terrified of the unknown, the quiet answer to your burning questions isn't honesty or dialogue, it's silence. That ghosting is a defense mechanism, a wall of avoidance hiding a broken system that would rather ignore brilliance than confront it. But this silence fuels your pain, your doubt, that gnawing sickness that maybe you're not enough, that your dream isn't meant to see the light. It's a trap. The real trap is believing that the silence means your fire must die. It doesn't. The silence is a call to rise higher than the noise, to find another way, to rewrite the rules that never suited you in the first place. You're not broken. The system is. So how do you fight back against this ghosting abyss? The answer isn't begging for attention or chasing the next shiny meeting. It's not about trying harder to fit in. It's about breaking out. First, realize the power of disconnection as a signal, not a sentence. Understand that ghosting reveals what the system fears: raw, untamed potential, unfiltered, and unboxed. Use this pain as fuel to seek out those rare spaces that don't just tolerate your passion, they crave it. Spaces where your fire is currency, not a liability. Here's the secret. The world of traditional VC is shrinking, while new autonomous networks, underground ecosystems, and unconventional alliances are rising. These are the spaces where founders don't have to knock on doors that slam in their face. Instead, they meet collaborators who see their scars, their burns, their relentless hunger, and say, "We get you." This doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. It happens by building sovereignty over your story and your mission. It happens by being ruthless in your selectivity. Align not with those who ghost you, but with the few who burn like you do. Stop wasting time pitching the gatekeepers when the gates they protect guard a world that's dying. Start building your own infrastructure of power. That means forging unbreakable connections with the rare, the radical, the misunderstood. It means questioning every assumption the startup world spoon-feeds you about funding, growth, and success. It means becoming fluent in the brutal truth that not every yes looks like a nod, and not every no is a defeat. Sometimes, silence is an invitation to move sideways, to build in shadows, to create in exile until your signal is impossible to ignore. Another brutal but invaluable insight. Don't flatter yourself thinking your idea alone will change how the VC world behaves. Change doesn't come from pleading. It comes from becoming so undeniably essential that silence becomes impossible. Cultivate relentless discipline in refining your vision, your value, your delivery. But more importantly, cultivate immunity to the noise of being ignored. Develop tools for emotional armor, real, practical tactics like delimiting time for distraction, creating rituals to reset your mental state, and surrounding yourself with unshakable allies who remind you who you are when ghosting tries to convince you otherwise. Get obsessed with intentionality. Every interaction you choose, every connection you nurture, every word you speak, make it count, not in quantity, but in impact. Founders who get ghosted often spread thin, trying to be everywhere and everywhere received by none. This is how brilliance is swallowed. You don't fight ghosting by flooding inboxes. You fight it by making every move precise and powerful, like a surgeon's scalpel, not a hammer. And never forget this. Your fire isn't a consolation prize, it's your weapon. VC ghosting tries to make you doubt your heat, your vision, your relentless will to create the impossible. But that's exactly why you were put here. Nobody ignites revolutions by waiting for permission or polite replies. You're called to burn brighter where the system dims the light, to find or forge a tribe where your unfiltered truth isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. This means rejecting every small compromise that muffles your voice or dims your passion. It means embracing patient warfare, the long game where every no and every silence isn't a dead end, but part of the terrain you master. You rewrite your story from the margins, because the center is designed to blink out those who refuse to bend. And here's the final kicker. You don't just survive ghosting, you harness it. You convert its emptiness into a canvas for innovation, its coldness into momentum, its rejection into unparalleled focus. Remember that VC ghosting isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a symptom of a system too frail to hold your magnitude. Out there, beyond the labyrinth of avoidance and silence, there is a new ecosystem waking up, a fierce, stubborn collective of founders and investors who refuse to be ghosts to each other. This underground won't ask you to shrink or sanitize your passion. Instead, it will fan your flames and build bridges so strong that no silence can ever break their connection. You are not alone. Your fire is valid, your pain is real, and your revolution is inevitable. The world might try to ghost the passionate founder, but you can choose to become the voice that no silence can smother. This is how true power is born, from those who won't be ignored, who won't be ghosted, who burn unapologetically in a world afraid to look up. So, when the silence comes, and it will, don't retreat. Lean in, use it. Create your own signal so loud, so pure, so necessary that the system has no choice but to listen, adjust, and ultimately be changed. Your journey isn't to fit the old rules, it's to break them. And in that, you don't just find investors, you find your tribe, your power, and your undeniable place in the world's next great story. Hold on to this. Being ghosted is not your defeat. It's your call to awaken, rise, and build something so real, so fierce, so untouchable that ghosting becomes impossible. That's not just hope. That's your next move.